Kellogg. Are you as ready as we are? It's the NBA on 2K Sports. Glad you could join us. You can feel the energy here at Air Canada Center. The Raptors looking to please their fans in this Eastern Conference matchup. This game against Indiana, the first game of the NBA's regular season. They were blanked in this matchup a season ago. No wins in 3 tries. They'll try to improve on that dismal record here.
At the line for the Pacers.
Here's the starting group for the Indiana Pacers. A tall bunch of 2, 3, and 4. George Granger and West. Roy Hibbert is out there with George Hill. And for Toronto, their backcourt is Lowry and DeRozan. Bargnani and Valanciunas, the combo out front. And it's Gay in at the 3 slot.
You know, it's not very easy to make the jump into the top 4 teams of the conference, especially when you're coming from the bottom half of that conference. But the Pacers were able to do that last season in large part due to how they played on the road.
The Raptors shooting their first free throws of the night. The first one falls. Back to the Pacers, and Clark, you know him so well. The road was a problem for them the season before last, but it was, Steve, as we saw with their nice record, a strength for them last year in their playoff campaign.
Yeah, not bad. They finished 19 and 14 on the road, which in the East on the road behind the Bulls. So I think this is an up-and-coming team that seems to be getting better and better.
It's been 4 years now and counting for the Raptors since they made the playoffs. Overall, the franchise found their way into the playoffs early, but it's been hard getting back there recently.
Now here's Hibbert. 6 on the shot clock. And the shot is good. Here is Lowry. And with so many stars coming and going, Bosh, Tracy McGrady, it seems each time, Steve, that Toronto gets a team that can make the playoffs, they lose their centerpiece.
Yeah, that's going to be important in the future. Can they hang on to their players? It's one of the reasons I think they've gone with a more European feel to their club. It's an international city, Toronto is. And I think the franchise feels like if they draft European players, they're more likely to be able to hang on to them than they would be the American stars.
Hill, no good. Here's the Raptors with the ball. We'll go to Doris Burke, who spoke with head coach Dwayne Casey. What's the news, Doris?
We talked about David West and what makes him such a tough player to defend. Coach says West is special because he's so skilled for a player of his size and strength. He can score inside and also spread the floor with his shooting. He can have a quiet night and still drop 20 and 10. So we've got to stay conscious of him at all times. Guys, we'll see how they do against him.
Thanks again, Doris.
And the Pacers players really seem to be responding well to Frank Vogel. You know, when he came in a couple of years ago as the interim guy, he loosened the reins a bit, put a lot of confidence in his players. And I think the guys on the team immediately took to him. Now that he's the head coach, he really has a lot of confidence on the sidelines.
You mentioned that the confidence that Coach Vogel placed in his players, he's really tried to motivate them with encouragement. Very positive in that regard.
Yeah, you can tell the players believe in him and vice versa. And, you know, he came in with a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of joy, and I think that really rubbed off on his team. That's one of the reasons the Pacers have had success under him the last year and a half.
Both free throws good from DeRozan.
Well, it was a struggle last year for the Raptors against the rest of the Eastern Conference, and that's something that they have to improve upon. I mean, if you're going to be a factor in your own conference, you've got to start beating the teams that you play on a more regular basis.
Now here's Hibbert. And stolen by Kyle Lowry. And now here comes Gay in the break. That falls. Nice feed that time from Kyle Lowry.
I'm not sure which was better, the fast break or the steal that got it started.
I think it was the defense, quite honestly. I mean, the whole play isn't even possible if he doesn't make the steal.
DJ Augustine's checked in for Indiana. And 15 and 33 for the Raptors against the East last year. Third worst in conference record in the East, Clark. That is not a good mark.
No, it isn't. They had to deal with some injuries, but they also have to be able to put up more wins than they did, or I think they'll continue to be fighting for a spot in the bottom of the standings in the East. Protect your home court. That's the first step in becoming a playoff team.
Here's Lowry. Roy Hibbert picking up that last basket. Puts one up from 19. And the jumper is on the mark. Pacers trail by 3. Now here is Hill. Hill gets a screen from George. Right side George. Clock at 6. And he misses his first shot of the game.
You know, last season, I think DeMar DeRozan was disappointing for the Raptors. He had had such a good rookie year. They were expecting great things from him, but he struggled with his shooting, and he turned the ball over at an alarming rate. So he needs to get his game back on track.
And Toronto has possession, following the score by Indiana. Hit his leg. And it's being called. Some changes. Aaron Gray, he's checked in for Valanciunas, and Amir Johnson subbed in for Bargnani. Mahinmi's checked in for the Pacers. They get a hand on it. And now West running the floor all by himself.
And check out the bounce.
Bounce to the ounce. Clark, how about that?
Yeah.
All right, showing him off right there. Good move.
What does that even mean, Kevin? Bounce to the ounce?
And DeMar DeRozan, the 9th pick overall back in the 2009 draft. Certainly some expectations, Clark, with being such a high pick.
Yeah, and I don't think he's disappointed. Always athletic. The goal for him is to continue to grow as a basketball player, to hone in on that athleticism and produce consistently at both ends. And I think he's heading in that direction.
The Raptors have gone 3 of 4.
How about that, basketball fan?
Beautiful.
Wow. Don't do that to him. That was fantastic. Wow.
And Clark, the degree of difficulty.
Major.
That was amazing. And David West gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. Game with it. 5 points in the game. Lowry dishes to Gay. Back to Lowry. Takes a 3. It's Lowry again missing.
That's excellent defense right there on the perimeter.
Here's Augustine. The 19-footer is on the money. Augustine's got his second bucket of the game to go. They set the screen. Lowry inside the line. And the Raptors miss again.
A very rough quarter for him as not much is falling right now.
Hill with it. Lowry picks him up. Sebastian Telfair. He's checked in for the Raptors. Gay against George. And there's the pass to Augustine. Pass to Hill. Latrey. Here's George. Powers down the dunk.
How's that for an encore after the offensive board?
That's the only way he knows how to do it. Monster stuff.
Oh, he makes life miserable down around the paint for anybody who's trying to box him out.
Here is Telfair. He dishes it to Gay. Over George. Johnson kicks to Gay. Passes it to Telfair. Over Augustine. And again, Toronto no luck. And it's Indiana's ball. It's a 12-2 run here. Good pace. Hill kicks to George. Beyond the arc. DeRozan with the rebound. Raptors trail by 7. Here's Gay. Another miss by Gay.
Gotta like the defense not quitting on the play and getting a hand in the face.
Sure do. With a tough defender breathing down your neck, that makes it not an easy shot.
Now, here is George. He feeds it to West. Back to George. That's good. And it's a 9-point Pacer lead.
They keep going right back to the paint, and who can blame them? I mean, they're getting it done in there.
Yeah, 3 of their last 5 buckets, guys, have come from inside the lane area, so I'd expect them to continue to go inside right at the defense.
So, timeout called here, the first for Toronto.
Well, you talk about the teams that are on the rise in the East, and you have to take a good, strong look at what the Pacers have done. A big reason for their resurgence is how well they play in the Eastern Conference. But also, they've got some young, talented players that continue to get better.
Some changes here for the Raptors. Anderson, he's checked in for Gray. Pietrus comes in for Rudy Gay. And it's Ross in for DeMar DeRozan. So an entirely new group in now for Indiana. Tyler Hansbrough checked in for West. Young comes in for George. Johnson is checked.
Clear. They're going to be a force for the foreseeable future. They've got a really nice, strong young roster.
Here is Stevenson. Stolen away. And here's the fast break. Telfair leading the way.
Sebastian Telfair.
Here is Stevenson. The jump hook. The rebound by Johnson.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
Here is Ross. It's tipped. It's stolen by Hansbrough. And the foul on Michael Pietrus. That's his first foul. And there's the call on Sebastian Telfair. That is his first foul of the game.
Fourth team foul.
Here is Stevenson. They set the pick. To the middle. Stolen by Anderson.
Heads up interior defense there. He was ready for that entry pass.
And some instant offense coming for them after that steal.
Yeah, that's terrific, beautiful transition basketball. No chance at all for the defense to get back and set up.
Here is Stevenson. Johnson right side. Uncovered. And the shot is good. Johnson's got his first basket of the night. Raptors trail by 4. Telfair, the pass to Ross. He kicks it to Telfair. Kicks it to Ross. Over Johnson. No good from Ross.
Well, they'll give him that shot. He doesn't have the most reliable jump shot in the world. We know that.
Here's Telfair. Blocked. And they're able to recover. The kick out to Anderson. Back to Johnson. Uses both hands to shut it down.
An open lane right there. Pretty much saw the daylight he wanted and took advantage.
Yeah, great opportunity, and he seized it without much hesitation.
Yeah, a little too easy, if you ask me. The defense really needs to tighten things up here.
Hands defended by Anderson. That is good.
You know, he got one step ahead of the defense on that one. Excellent job.
And Michael Pietrus, one of the outstanding swingmen defensively that we have in this league, out of the island nation of Guadalupe. Quick feet, long arms.
Anderson.
Not only can he defend, but he can knock down the three-point shot as well. A very valuable player on this team.
Here is Stevenson after the Raptors pick up 2. There's the pick. The feed to Mahinmi. Now the dish to Stevenson. 4 on the clock. Gives him the lead pass. That's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over. And Pietrus drafted back in 2003 by the Golden State Warriors, played on their We Believe team. We all remember that. Also made the finals with Orlando back in 2009.
You're right. Pietrus has played on some solid teams, was on that team that got to the finals, as you said, in Orlando. And is a guy who can defend at a high level and not afraid to take and make big shots either.
Lowry dishes to Bargnani. That falls. Nice shoot that time from Kyle Lowry. Lowry's got his 3rd assist on the night. They set the pick. Stevenson kicks to Mahinmi. Dishes it to Young. Stolen by Anderson. guys, they've been getting it done.
They sure have been. I mean, really looking good and sharp offensively.
Knocking down the open shots and really getting a nice flow to the game. Well, he's one of the most explosive finishers in the game, guys. 6'7", great leaping ability, and can really run the wing in transition.
Yeah, in a strong frame too, Steve. He can throw it down with the best of them.
Well, if you were following the Pacers like I did last year, Kevin, you knew that they'd be a tough team to play in the playoffs. Built for the playoffs. Size, strength, and depth. And that certainly proved to be the case. They made a good showing in their playoff.
Raptors ball.
Rudy Gay's checked in for Anderson.
Boy, they couldn't hook up there on what's really a pretty basic pass.
Here's Toronto. They're on a 14-4 run. Here's DeRozan. Wasted no time on that shot, but it's off the mark. Well, the Pacers dispatched the Magic with such ease that it turned some heads, but Steve, I know they knew the real challenges would lie ahead in the later rounds like that physicals.
An absolute gem of a throw down there.
A little extra dose of flair on that one. Some style points for sure.
I give it a 10, Kevin, no question. That is a 10.
How about this action? We better tie the roof on this place before it blows off.
A lot of passion in this building now, you're right.
Now, there's no way they keep trading dunks like this. The defense has to improve.
The drive by Lowry. Here's Bargnani. The shot's good on the assist by Lowry. Lowry's got his 4th assist in this one.
Both sides really coming out of the gate firing.
Guys, they look like they were raring to go in this one. A lot of offense early on.
Here's Stevenson, and he races to the bucket for 2.
I'm sure they'd like to get more shots like that one.
A good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter.
29.
Raptors lead by 1.
28.
And back to the action again. Everyone excited to be playing for a fresh new year. And from what we've seen so far from the Raptors guys, your thoughts?
For a full season. But that could turn into one of the turning points for this franchise because he has the chance to be an excellent player. And between he and Bargnani, this is a club that could turn it around pretty quickly now.
So with Gay on the bench, here's the group that Dwayne Casey has on the floor. Michael Pietrus is out there with Anderson. Then there's Gray. Then there's Telfair. And it's Ross in at the 2 guard. That's good.
Beautiful finesse move right there. I mean, you've got to love that finger roll finish.
I remember teams were reluctant to wait on Valenciunas to come over, but the Raptors, as I go back down the memory bank, seem to see the long-term benefit of taking him, and it's paid off.
And more importantly, he feels a need. I mean, they need that strong inside presence, and he'll give it to them with time, as Steve said. This could be a turning point for the franchise, in my opinion.
And let's now go to the sideline. We'll catch up here with Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, guys, Pacers center Roy Hibbert has trained with Tim Duncan over the last few off-seasons, and they've become friends. They stay in touch, and Duncan even offered him advice and encouragement when the Pacers were in the playoffs. Hibbert said, "I had a roller coaster first 3 years in terms of my career. Tim doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. I model my game after him. He's somebody who looks out for me. Guys, always great to see a star take a young man under his wing."
Hard to think of a better mentor for Roy than the great Tim Duncan. Thanks, Doris.
That was not pretty there. You got to make that one, but that's not his range.
Granger passes to West. Back to Granger. And he drops it in from the low post. Second quarter of basketball, just over a minute and a half played. Here is Telfair. He's guarded by Hill. Telfair kicks to Ross. The shot's good. Telfair making the play. Ross has got his first points of the night. Several lead changes going on here in the early portion of this game.
Yeah, but neither team really able to jump ahead.
Yeah, 5 times already the lead has changed.
West inside. Toronto grabs the miss. It's off to Brooklyn after this game as they have the next to look forward to. That'll be just one game played away from home for them. Pacers have gone 2 of 5 from the field here in the second quarter, shooting 40%. Granger dishes to Hill. Feeds it to George. Shot clock at 6. Over Ross. West passes to George. He passes to Hill. Granger up top. Three-pointer. Can't hit, so the Raptors will take it the other way. 3 minutes of action so far in the second quarter. Now Telfair. Down low. The jump hook. Anderson. That falls. Great assist by Sebastian Telfair. Telfair's got his 3rd assist on the night. Hill kicks it to West. It's back to Hill. Puts the lead pass in front of him. West gets the bucket.
Offensively just hammering away in the paint.
And that's 10 straight points inside, too. And for my money, guys, David West is really the epitome of an old school player. His game is old school, low to the ground, tough, physical, no nonsense. He's a power forward that's a throwback, but he also has great touch out to 18 or 19 feet.
Granger outside. The pass to Hibbert. Back to Granger. Fires from the wing. And out of bounds as the Raptors gain possession.
How about a look at the Pacers and where they ranked in the NBA last season? 3rd in free throw percentage, 4th in rebounding, and they were top 10 in three-point shooting. That's a huge part of their offensive attack.
I was just really impressed with the free throw shooting that you mentioned. Top 5 in the league in free throw percentage. Says a lot about their concentration and their focus as a team. This is a key part of the game for this team. They've got to get to the line and knock them down to have a chance to win.
And it's Hibbert missing.
And the other thing about David West, he's a good ball handler. So you can go to him on the perimeter, run some dribble handoffs. He can get around you offensively. And he can do it without turning the ball over. So West, a nice option offensively.
Hibbert with a screen for Hill. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Well, I don't know how many of you knew this, but George Hill is playing for his hometown Pacers. Hill is an Indianapolis native, played college ball just a few miles away from where he plays now.
He has a built-in following.
Yeah.
And Clark, when the Pacers traded to get Hill from San Antonio, I'm sure that hometown connection, like I was just saying, played a role.
Yes, it did.
Steve, I think that makes it a little more comfortable when you go to a new team.
Yeah, I think so. And also the Pacers were looking for players who could connect with the fans in their community. So George Hill already had that connection. So really a nice fit. And I think that's a trade that worked out well for both teams. Kawhi Leonard going to the Spurs and Hill with the Pacers.
West outside. It's back to Hill. West right side. Stolen by Bargnani. Fast break Toronto. Lowry with the ball. He's picked up by Hill. Takes it from 10. The shot by Lowry, no good.
As tight as this game is, you have to like their chances the way they've been rebounding.
They have a pretty good margin in that department, so they've got to continue to hit the boards hard. It'll pay off for them in the end.
And here's George. He has 6. Oh, tried to dunk it home, but drew the foul. It'll go to the line. Andre Bargnani picks one up.
How about Paul George? Since he got into the NBA, he's grown a couple of inches. He's now 6'10". And as a swingman, that's just great size. Phenomenal athlete, can guard pretty much anybody on the court.
And Paul George taken with the 11th pick in the 2010 NBA draft. Clark, if you look back at that class, you think if they did it over, he'd go higher?
I don't know if he would or not, but I'm certainly glad he fell where he did to number 10 and for the Indiana Pacers, because I think he's got a chance to be a star at both ends of the floor. It's a matter of commitment to the extra work and keeping his feet on the ground, staying humble and hungry. If he does that, kid's got a chance to be a special player.
Just 4 to shoot. A floater. DeRozan's shot is good. DeRozan's got 4 points in the quarter.
Like he may have been showboating a little bit at the end of that one.
Good. 10 points for Roy Hibbert.
And all 10 of their last points have come inside the paint, so defensively you've got to make an adjustment.
Yeah, and you got to do a little more to stop it, too. I mean, it's coming way too easy for him. At some point, you just got to buck up and say it's not going to happen. You know, the Raptors were really terrible defensively in 2011, and even though they didn't quite make the overall strides they wanted to last year, they were able to get closer to where they need to be.
Outside Lowry. Gay, a screen on Hill. Lowry dishes to Gay, and he dunks it after the pick frees him up.
One of the oldest players in basketball made that dunk possible.
That's right, a terrific screen right there, Steve. Allowed him to lose his man and rock it to the rim.
Don't you love to see players working together in that fundamental play? Fun to watch.
And to turn a team around like the Raptors defensively, you know, Steve, it's going to take some time.
Well, it always takes time when you take over a new team like Dwayne Casey did a year ago, and you don't have defensive-minded players. You can scheme all you want, but if you don't have the talent, it's not going to work. So I would look for Toronto to continue to try to improve their roster from a defensive standpoint.
Valanciunas passes to Johnson. And it's Lowry penetrating. And at last, they get one to fall.
Just how are you gonna get
Lowry's
out
got his second bucket. Timeout called the Pacers. And so it's Indiana with it. Stevenson kicks to Green. They get it back. Hansbrough. Missed inside.
Yeah, trying to put a little mustard on the hot dog there. That was just convert the shot. Come on.
And the officials call over the bat. A little too aggressive there.
Well, you like it when a guy goes hard to the boards, but you have to be smart. He went right over his back on that one. Not a good play.
I think he was just over anxious that time.
Shoots from the right block. Rebound by the Raptors. Valanciunas has got his 3rd rebound on the night. The unselfishness you mentioned, Steve, with this Pacers group, they really play team basketball, and they look out for each other.
And Kevin, a big part of it is they don't really have a superstar that they're built around. They are just a good collection of good to outstanding players, and they're all willing to defer in order to get the win.
It's a great quality.
Yep.
Now let's go to Doris Burke. Doris.
Guys, a very interesting motivational object for the Raptors. Coach Dwayne Casey had a 1,300-pound boulder placed in the Raptors dressing room. He said it's from a story about a stonecutter. Every time a stonecutter hits a rock, it may not break. You may have to hit it 100 times, but on that 101st time you hit it, now you cause the rock to crack. Now the team motto has become Pound the Rock. It's a metaphor for working hard, eventually paying off. Casey said, we've got to keep pounding. We've got to keep hitting the rock, and eventually it will crack. That's why we work together every day to get better. Kevin, pretty hard to ignore a boulder that size in your locker room.
Well, it's so true. Thanks.
Raptors ball.
Well, you know, guys, when you look at Valanciunas, I mean, he's not yet a polished low-post scorer, but he's an excellent finisher out of the pick-and-roll set. So that's something that you'd like to see in a big guy. He also is a scrappy rebounder. I mean, this is a guy who really finds a way to get second-chance opportunities for him.
And there's the call on Kyle Lowry. That's his first foul.
4th team foul.
Green with a screen on Lowry. Stevenson dishes to Mahimi. Hansbrough. An easy 2 points on the layup. Hansbrough's got his first bucket of the night.
With Valanciunas, you like his motor and his energy, not to mention, it might still be growing. I mean, he's 7 feet already, but he's still very young. Who knows how much better he's going to get.
Here's Lowry. Gets it to go. Lowry's got 6.
Good job creating an easy bucket there.
That's good.
Lance Stevenson.
And here are the Raptors now. It's a 5-point game. Gay outside. Johnson outside. Johnson off the pick from Lowry. Shot clock at 5. Johnson, the pass to Valanciunas. That's good. Valanciunas has got his first points of the game.
This team has to tighten up inside. Way too many easy hoops in the lane.
Yep, that's 5 straight buckets they've given up from the key now, and it's hurting them. I think he's been fighting his shot a little bit. He's not getting many of them to drop right now.
Green against Lowry. Green kicks to Mahimi. Off on the layup. Raptors leading by 7. Outside Lowry. Pass to DeRozan. To the paint. Here's Gay. Green with the rebound.
You can see how much the defense respects him. I mean, they were all over him on that look.
Johnson outside. From deep 3-point range. Green kicks to Hansbrough. Leads him in there. Deflects the pass. And the first half is now in the books. The Raptors out in front. They lead by 7. Make sure you stay tuned for the Sprint Halftime Show with Damon Bruce. Then we'll be back here right after that for the second half.
I ain't no joke. I used to let the mic smoke. Now
And welcome back to the second half of our Halloween broadcast. You gotta like what DeMar DeRozan has done in this game.
It's been nothing but positive for this team. The way he's been really selective with his shot making, been very unselfish. I think this has been an efficient performance for him.
I agree with you, Steve. Very few questionable decisions, if any, from him, as he has always looked for the best shot every trip down the floor. I mean, I like the fact that he's judicious in his approach.
Third quarter action getting rolling right now. Brought to you by Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. On the court for Indiana. The front line, Danny Granger, David West, and Roy Hibbert. Hill and George, they're manning the back.
That's decent defensive work, but it's going to take a little more than that, Kevin. They got to raise their bar.
Well, Clark, he knew exactly how to attack.
Yeah, he sure did. He knew exactly what he wanted to do there.
What a phenomenal dunk goal. And in the end, he just made the play and took off.
Gay. Really Gay. The 15-footer. Good. Gay's got 13 points.
Well, none of the defenders were quick enough to step out and get a hand in his face on that jump shot. Big mistake there.
Hibbert with a screen for Hill. Granger. The 3. Kept alive. Outside for George. He dishes it to Granger. Back to George. Some nice passing here by Indiana. And it's Granger penetrating. Passes it to George. Off his leg. And the ref's whistling a kick ball. Right around a minute and a half. Play here in the third quarter. Stolen by Gay.
And that passing lane wasn't open for long. He closed it down in a heartbeat to get that steal.
And the officials call a foul, reaching out and committing the intentional foul here, and his teammates are baffled.
Yeah, everybody's kind of looking at him like, what are you doing? I mean, I think he just lost track of the situation.
Fades and shoots. Gets it to go. And it's a 9-point Raptor lead.
Look, they've been shooting well from mid-range here.
Well, sometimes you can't get all the way into the rim in the paint area, feet. It's pretty impressive.
And George kicks to Hibbert. And he bangs it home with one hand.
And that's exactly what you call a high percentage hoop there.
It sure is.
The one-handed throwdown. Gotta love it.
Hill against Lowry. Bargnani a screen on Hill. Kicks it out to Bargnani. The shot's good on the assist by Lowry. Bargnani's got 10 points in the game.
You know what makes it difficult to guard Bargnani is that he's 7 feet tall, but he's got shooting range out to about 25 feet. So the big man on the defense has to stay out with him on the perimeter, and that really opens up the floor for anything you want to do offensively.
It sure does open up the floor, Steve, and he can get into a rhythm, too. If he gets a few good looks at the hoop and he's feeling it, he'll get hot real quickly with his size and shooting touch there. It isn't much you can do to stop him. Here's Gay, scooped up. Lowry kicks to Bargnani. He feeds it to DeRozan. Gay tries again. And he sails in for the layup.
His offensive game is so refined, guys. Extremely well developed in just about every aspect.
Hill dishes to George. It's back to Hill. Makes the lead pass. And George kicks to Hill. Kicks it to George. 6 to shoot. And it's Toronto with the rebound. DeRozan's got 6 rebounds now in the game. Lowry against Hill. High post shot. The Pacers pull it in. They'll be off to Charlotte for a meeting with the Bobcats after this one. That'll be the second of this 2-game road trip. Ranger against DeRozan. Launches it. And the Pacers can't get it to go.
There's some good defense for you. I mean, for somebody who's as good at shooting a three as he is, you need a defender who's equally adept at guarding against him. That was well done.
Well, then they picked the right guy to put on it.
Here's Lowry. It's Lowry again missing.
Early on, he tried to shoot his way out of this funk, but later in the game now, he might want to just give it up and look for his teammates to do the scoring.
You know, Danny Granger's a guy who gets plenty of recognition for his scoring ability, but I think he brings so much more to the table than that. He rebounds the ball, he defends, he blocks shots, and he can guard multiple positions as well.
And the Raptors going out now with a whole new group. Here's Hill. He kicks it to George. Kicks it out to Granger. And out of bounds as the Raptors gain possession.
Raptors ball.
Well, Kevin, a look here at last year in the NBA where the Raptors ranked. 12th in free throw percentage, 14th in assists. As for the rebounding numbers, not as strong as you would think. Top 20 in the league. They certainly are capable of better.
Toronto calls timeout. Here is Ross. He's guarded by Johnson. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Shooting for Toronto.
And Danny Granger, a multi-dimensional player, and you mentioned, Steve, he has a lot of versatility to his game. Clark, you've had a chance to see him firsthand in Indiana. Tell us your thoughts on him.
Well, I've enjoyed watching his growth. He's been better defensively the last 2 seasons. His shot selection has improved. You know, he was the 17th pick back in 2005 and really got on the floor that first year because of his defensive ability. And starting to see some of that come back with a more well-rounded offensive game.
Deflected to stop the drought. And there's the nice layup by Johnson. Johnson's got his second basket of the game.
No question, they're trying to pound the ball inside. That's 5 straight hoops inside.
And if the D won't stop it, keep at it. I mean, those are the kind of looks you want all day long.
Here's Ross. Johnson, the pass to Ross. Back to Johnson. The feed now to Ross. The second chance effort. That's good. That's the jump shot. Ross has got his second bucket tonight. Pacers trail by 9. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones a long time without a basket.
They got to find something right. Right side, Green shoots the three. Rebound by Johnson. Johnson's got his 5th rebound in this one. Here is Ross. He's guarded by Johnson. No good from Ross. Pacers have gone a somewhat subpar 4-10 on their shots in the second half so far. Green against Petrus. Green dishes to Hansbrough. Green kicks to Hansbrough. And they're on the break. Ross, who's guarded by Johnson.
All business there, not messing around one bit. Flushed it right with one hand.
He never does, Clark. He never does.
Well, that's kind of his trademark, those slams like that one.
There's the dish to Hansbrough. Johnson outside. And that one's good.
Orlando Johnson.
Raptors leading by 9. Here is Telfair. Six on the shot clock. Dishes it to Ross. For 3. They get it back. Johnson kicks to Telfair. Second shot opportunity. Here's Gray. And finally they hit one. Gray's got his first 2 points.
And we see him get so many points that way because the effort is there constantly on the offensive glass.
Green against Petrus. Green kicks to Stevenson. Up with it. Flushes it down.
Guys, he's been a go-to guy for him. And the pressure's going to continue to build on him the longer they're in this hole.
Telfair, the pass to Gray. Feeds it to Ross. Telfair. Raptors moving the ball around. Gray kicks to Petrus. His 3-pointers off the mark. Pacers trail by 9. Here's Green. Oh, look out.
Wow.
Did you see that?
Oh, we got to see that one again, guys. We've got to see that again.
I need a replay. I'm not sure what I just looked at.
Inside. Johnson right side. It's stolen by Hansbrough. Now the Pacers moving it up. Green with the ball. Johnson right side.
Oh, man, that was unreal.
Mark it up.
Oh, they really picked up the intensity here.
Anderson, he's checked in for Gray. Gay comes in for Michael Petrus. DeMar DeRozan, he's checked in for Ross. And it's Lowry in for Sebastian Telfair. The kick out to Anderson. Rudy Gay on the wing. Lets it go from deep. Cannot hit. And it's the Pacers taking it the other way. Right side Green. From downtown. Snatched up. Mahaney kicks to Johnson. Now the pass to Stevenson. Pass to Green. He passes it to Hansbrough. And yes, sir, that one drops. Now it's just a 3-point Raptor lead.
And they've gotten themselves back into this game now.
Yeah, it's been an 180-degree change for them, and you can bet the other squad is starting to hear those footsteps.
Now here is Lowry. 6 points for him. And he can't stop the run as he misses.
Nothing's working for him here. He's just really struggling to find the basket.
Stolen by Anderson. And there's the foul to try to stop the break, and that'll be a clear path to the basket. 2 free throws coming up, and they'll retain possession.
2 shots.
Raptors have gone 7 of 11 from the line.
DeMar DeRozan out of Los Angeles went to USC, a very gifted athlete, strong, explosive. I think he's a player with tremendous upside.
Both free throws good from DeRozan. Going back to DeRozan's upside, Steve, what do you think he needs to work on to take that next step?
It's all about the outside shot for DeRozan, Kevin. The consistency of his perimeter game will tell how far he goes and how much he develops. He's an unbelievable athlete. He's a big, strong kid. Just has to be more consistent with that outside game.
Well, he stepped up this quarter, providing a hot hand to help carry them offensively.
Outside, Green. From outside the arc. No luck. Gay with the defensive effort. Raptors leading by 6. Outside Lowry. Lowry gets a screen from DeRozan. Outside Lowry. The leaner inside. Another miss by Gay.
You'd expect him to nail that one being that close to the hoop.
Johnson right side. Over Lowry. Johnson gets the bucket. Johnson's got 8 points in the quarter.
Guys, he's really shot the ball well. It's definitely not his fault they find themselves trailing in this.
The drive by Lowry. Gay outside. He dishes it to DeRozan. The rebound by Hansbrough. Hansbrough's got his 3rd rebound tonight. Johnson with it, and it's Johnson picking him up. Johnson dishes to Green. Passes to Hansbrough. And it's Rudy Gay with the rebound. Raptors with the lead. There's 31 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. Here's Lowry. The 19-footer is on the money. Lowry's got 8. We got 22 seconds left in the 3rd quarter of the game. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
You're good, Kev. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points.
And Green gets it to go.
That's where you like to get shots, inside and close to the hoop.
Lowry with the ball. 8 points for him. Anderson, Hansbrough defending. Can't connect from 14 feet out. And that's going to do it for the 3rd quarter. Raptors lead by 4. And we're coming back in just a moment. Get ready for the 4th quarter of action when we return. Pacers trail by 4. Margnani and Valanciunas, the combo out front. Michael Pietrus is out there with John Lucas. And it's Gay in at the small forward. So that's the 5 in the game for Toronto. Hill back.
Nasty, nasty. Whoa.
And that look right there on Clark says it all.
He's not alone, Kevin. That was just mean right there.
And here are the Raptors now. They've led by as many as 11 points. Lucas against Hill. Lucas kicks to Bargnani. Makes no mistake on the open jump shot. And the Raptors lead by 3. The Pacers shooting it really well. 54% from the floor. He feeds it to West. It's back to Hill. Ranger screen on Lucas. Here's West. Shoots in deep. Good. The assist goes to Hill. Hill's got his 8th assist here tonight.
They continue to barrel their way inside. And when's the defense going to adjust?
Well, I'm asking the same question myself, partner. I mean, that's 8 points out of their last 10 coming inside.
Valanciunas gets it to go.
Points in the paint have been the main course, or main entree, if you will. They just keep pounding it inside.
Now they're seeing no resistance defensively in the paint area, so the defense has got to be tougher.
Hill kicks to George. It's back to Hill with the lead pass off the pick.
Yeah, no excuses there. Got a really good look at the basket after being freed up by the pick.
We say it all the time. The execution was excellent. The result not as good, but good ball movement anyway.
Margnani a screen on George. No good from Lucas.
Looked like he rushed that one, guys. The defense was out of position. He was wide open, just couldn't take advantage.
Great open look there. 18 points here for George. We're about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter in this one. Now Lucas. Kicks to Valanciunas. Back to Lucas. Releases. Takes it up. No good from Valanciunas. Indiana trailing here. Granger with the ball. And Bargnani picks him up defensively. And here's George for three. There's the bucket. Good. George has got 8 here in the quarter.
Another good look there, and that's his second three-pointer of the game.
Lucas dishes to Gay. Gay left side. Here's Bargnani. Count that one.
Andrea Bargnani.
The Pacers have gone an outstanding 4 of 5 from the field in the fourth quarter so far. Hill against Lucas. George passes to Hill. West setting the pick for Hill. George pops off the pick and hammers it home.
Now that was pretty. That was just a nice looking reverse jam right there.
Use the rim, Clark, to protect the ball, I think, too, a little bit.
Yeah, did a nice job with it.
Yeah, no question. Kept great awareness and terrific finish.
Hill against Lucas. He kicks it to Petrus. The Pacers pull it in. Granger's got his third rebound tonight. George gets a screen from West. Open shot, George. Granger kicks to George. West inside. It's stolen by Valanciunas. Now the feed to Lucas. The dish to Valanciunas. Some nice ball movement here by the Raptors. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Pacers will take it. A new group in now for the Raptors. Amir Johnson's checked in for Valanciunas. Anderson comes in for Bargnani. Ross is checked in for Rudy Gay. And it's Telfair in for John Lucas. The Pacers have gone 5 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the fourth. Strong work at that end of the floor. Outside Hill. Leads him in there. And out of bounds as the Raptors gain possession.
Boy, just a brain cramp, guys. I mean, that should have been the simplest of exchanges.
Toronto trailing. Here is Telfair. Dishes to Ross. Fires the three. The shot's good. Telfair making the play. And that's 10 points now for Terrence Ross. Hill dishes to Granger. Covered by Petrus. The shot's good from Granger.
They're taking it to the hoop strong now, getting a lot of points in the paint.
And Steve, I love it. I mean, I like to see guys attacking the rim and taking it to the paint. It's fun basketball to watch. It's not for the faint of heart, though. You got to be a man to go in there strong.
Telfair kicks to Ross. And the basket good.
Ross.
Ross has got 10 points here in the second half.
Yeah, the shot is starting to fall, guys, and he's playing much better than he did in the first half.
And there's the call on Sebastian Telfair. That's foul number 2 for him.
Second team foul.
It's Hill on the wing. And he finishes nicely on the layup. And the Pacers lead by 1.
It's been the story of the game for him. Fortunately, his teammates have bailed him out.
Johnson with a screen on Hill. Telfair kicks to Johnson. And it's thrown down hard with both hands. Boy, right down to the wire here, Clark and Steve. Still anyone's ball game.
Both teams really invested now. I mean, this is the type of game you love to win and you hate to lose it.
Boy, after all this energy that both teams have expended, you're right, Mark. This will be a tough one to lose.
The Raptors have gotten into a pretty good groove going 6 of 10 here in the final quarter. Ross, that's good.
He's showing some signs of life here in the second.
He's checked in for Hibbert. Hansbrough comes in for David West. And it's Green in for Paul George. Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Kevin, the head coach for the Pacers, had some instruction for his guys during that break. He was riding them pretty hard for the number of silly fouls they've committed in this game. He said, listen, we need to have some defensive discipline. Stop fighting on the shot fakes, stop reaching in, and stop giving them free points at the free throw line. We'll see if they'll respond, guys.
That free throw, no good. And he sinks the second. Raptors leading by 3. Now Telfair feeds to Ross. The pass to Telfair. Shot clock at 6. Anderson. Here's Ross. And a foul call on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
And the defense looking to protect the rim at all costs.
I like that. A foul to save the layup. Make him earn it at the line.
That free throw good from Ross.
A lot of rumors were swirling around the Raptors and their 8th overall pick in the draft. Would they trade it? Would they move up or down? Eventually, they shocked a lot of people by keeping the pick and taking Terrence Ross.
That one falls, so he hits both of them.
You know, going back to Ross, really a bit of a shock that he jumped all the way up to 8th in the draft when Toronto picked him. But you look at the Raptors roster, it makes sense. They've got a lot of young bigs. They've traded for Kyle Lowry at the point guard spot, so they needed shooting and they needed wings. And Ross, probably the best one on the board when they picked.
And Green gets it to go.
Carving them up inside there, Kevin. I mean, the defense has been vulnerable in there.
Yeah, that's 3 straight field goals in the paint area. That's really good offense.
Telfair the pass to Ross. Pass to Anderson. Ball's knocked loose. And so it looks like the Raptors will retain possession here.
4 seconds on the shot clock.
Here is Telfair. Just 2 to shoot. They grab their own miss. The kick out to Anderson. He dishes it to Ross. Pass to Johnson. He feeds it to Ross. A 3 ball, but they recover it.
There's another opportunity, and everything's going right for these guys.
Here's Telfair. And so he ends a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
At the line for your Raptors.
You know, when Amir Johnson was drafted as a high school player back in 2005, he was listed at 6'9", then. But if you look at him, you can tell he's grown quite a bit since then.
That's good from Telfair.
And you know, getting back to Amir Johnson, Steve, you mentioned his growth.
Valenciunas, he's checked in for Johnson. Bargnani comes in for Anderson. Rudy Gay's checked in for Michael Petrus. And it's DeRozan in for Ross. Roy Hibbert's checked in for the Pacers. Paul George comes in for Green.
You know, you've got to like the fact that they're getting to the line. And on top of that, they're making their free throws in this half. That bodes well going forward.
Nice touch near the hoop.
Raptors leading by 3. Here is Telfair. Bargnani, a screen on him. Kicks it out to Bargnani. That falls. Great assist by Sebastian Telfair. Telfair's got his 5th assist in this one. Now here is Hill. D right on him.
Been a very solid outing for George. He has 23 points, and he's drained 2 bombs from beyond the arc.
Which is something they need to really improve their versatility when he's knocking down the 3-ball.
The Raptors making a switch here. Lowry's checked in, and George drops them both.
I'm always impressed by big men who shoot free throws as well as he does. For some reason, they're a rarity.
And here's Lowry. He passes to Valanciunas. And it's out of bounds. The Raptors able to retain
Still
possession
Raptors
here.
ball. 5 seconds on the shot clock. 5.
Toronto with the ball. 3-point lead. Gay can't get it to go.
You know, with the way they've dominated the glass so far, I'm a little surprised it's still a close game.
Yeah, you've got to take advantage. Getting extra possessions, but you're not knocking down shots.
It's back to Hill. Just 5 to shoot. Indiana needs to get a shot off. It's stolen by DeRozan. Here's Gay. Hammers it home.
Yeah, he's giving that breakaway rim a workout.
Yeah, he powered it down and hung around.
Strong finish. He just wanted to sit there and savor it for a second.
Backing down is Mahinmi. The turnaround. Blocked. Now here's DeRozan. Kicks it to Valanciunas.
Defensive foul.
And the call will be against George Hill.
That's his second personal foul.
That's foul number 2 for him.
Team foul.
The drive-by game.
Incredible.
And the powerful one-handed slam.
Call it game time and bang time.
Unbelievable.
You gotta just shake your head on that one.
Lowry against Hill. DeRozan with it. And that one's good. And it's a 9-point Raptor lead.
Well, it's really hard to defend when you're trying to recover from turning the ball over.
Yeah, that's because you can't get back in transition. The offense can just come down and get an easy look on you.
Lowry dishes to Valanciunas. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. Pacers trail by 9. Outside, George. Hibbert. He's covered by Gay. Hibbert kicks to Mahinmi. And that one's good.
This defense is porous right now. I mean, way too many looks coming from inside the paint.
Now, that's 4 straight buckets now in the paint, and anybody in the NBA is going to make shots from there.
And it's blocked.
And that's going to be tough here, Clark.
You know, I agree with you, Steve. I mean, they need some big plays to steal this one.
Hope they get it back. Here's Granger. He kicks to Hibbert. It's stolen by Valanciunas. Now running, here comes Lowry, pushing the ball up. And the dunk by DeRozan.
Flawless alley-oop that time. That's real stylish basketball there.
Almost looks like a play they've been rehearsing for a while.
Well, that's the beauty of the alley-oop. It appears that way, but really it's just timing and sort of an innate sense of awareness between two teammates.
The Pacers making a switch here. West is checked in. This game looks like they've got it just about wrapped up.
You're exactly right. I mean, take care of the ball, work the clock. It's a wrap.
Yep, nice game. And Lowry gets it to go.
Doesn't look like they're going to take it easy on them down the stretch.
It certainly doesn't look like it. I mean, they're still aggressively attacking the basket and putting up points.
6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. And out of bounds as the Pacers gain possession.
He was surprised to see the pass coming his way and game plan all they want, but there's not enough time left for them to come back and win this game.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure exactly what they think they're going to pull off here.
Catching up on the changes for Toronto. Amir Johnson's checked in for Gray. Pietrus comes in for Bargnani. And Telford in for John Lucas.
Well defended, and he's not someone who responds well to that kind of defensive pressure.
Orlando Johnson.
You know, even though it's transition, he's got the green light to fire from there if he has a good look at it.
And so it's Toronto winning this one. They pulled off this win, Clark, with respectable performances on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, I think it was just really a nice overall effort, Kevin.